Hi, my name's Del Warren, Vice President of the Kegel Training Center, and today we're going to really be talking about the Teen Masters bowling balls and some of the drilling specifications that you're going to be faced with as you get your balls and you go to your ball driller. The first thing I would suggest is your ball driller is going to need an accurate positive axis point, and because the cores in these balls are a little bit unique, they're not quite as dynamic as any of the balls that you would normally throw. So therefore, you're going to want to make sure that you get your positive axis point from a plastic three-piece bowling ball. Here are two examples. You have the Ebonite Maxim and the Columbia 300 white dot. You're going to get a much more accurate positive axis point by using your spare ball to get that point. That's very, very important that you get an accurate axis point for these balls. Secondly, what I have here is the urethane model, and what you're seeing here is my center line, my midline, my pin distance to the PSA. But what I really want to draw your attention to here is there are some things that we want to pay attention to when drilling this ball. First is the pin safe zone. Your pro shop operator will know what that is. It's very important that we keep the pin in a position to where we're both maximizing the dynamics of this particular ball, and also we don't want to hit either the finger hole or the thumb hole with the ball track. So in this area here, you can see how my ball is drilled, where I have the pin that's on a line from the positive axis point over to the finger holes, and I've got that, you want that pin on that line or above in this shaded area. And that will do a couple of things. One, it will increase the dynamic imbalance of the ball, and number two, you will ensure that you have a much better chance of not hitting any of the holes. Now, the pin safe zone is a very common technological phrase that the pro shop operators are very familiar with. This ball doesn't have quite the flexibility that you have with other balls because it's very round, it's very symmetrical, and you're not going to get a lot of help from the weight block. You're going to see a much more even roll than you would from most of the bowling balls that you throw today. So therefore, the characteristics of where you put the holes in this is just a little bit different than you would find in most of the balls that you're currently throwing. The next ball I want to bring to your attention here, the next example, would be on the polyester model. As you can see here, I have a very similar situation, very similar layout. Again, we have the positive axis point, and notice that on this ball, the shaded area is a little bit less. We also want to find that we want to keep the pin no more than 30 degrees from the valve angle when you're pulling the pin up above the fingers. What we're finding is that if you pull the pin higher than 30 degrees, the ball will tend to want to flare over the thumb hole. And I did a lot of this modeling on Ebonite's blueprint. I spent about 3 hours doing different drilling scenarios, and what we found is every time I pulled the pin up into the 20-degree zone, up above this shaded area here, you took a chance on actually catching the flare on the bottom side of the thumb. So we don't want any of you to hit the holes. So again, anywhere from a line drawn from the PAP through the fingers and keeping the ball inside of 30 degrees from the valve line, and I think everyone will be perfectly happy. Secondly, in this particular tournament, you're going to be allowed to drill the fingers and the thumb any depth that you want, and you're going to be allowed to use a balance hole. Now that balance hole must be within 3/4 of an inch in diameter or less, and you're also allowed to drill that balance hole any depth that you would like. However, this is what I found. Even though you're going to be allowed to place the balance hole anywhere you would like, as long as the ball is within USB-C static weight balance drilling specifications, what I found is anytime you start to pull the balance hole down here towards the thumb or down into the P3 or P4 quadrant, again, you're increasing the differential and you're moving the bow tie of the track to where you're in danger of flaring the ball over the thumb as the ball actually goes into the pins. And we certainly don't want to be hitting holes as the ball goes into the pins. So what we found out is if you keep the balance hole on the midline or above towards the PAP, anywhere in this quadrant, you won't have a problem with hitting the flares on the back side of the thumb hole. and the differential will stay in a position to where you will not be in danger of having that situation happen. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. Again, keep the balance hole in the zone that I described. Keep the pin somewhere between the line from the fingers to the PAP and above and inside the 30-degree mark. And I think you're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to get the performance that you're looking for out of the balls. And hopefully you'll go on to win the Teen Masters and have a great experience in Fort Lauderdale. And again, if you get a chance to visit us at the Kegel Training Center, we're going to be right up the road, about 3 hours away. We're right here in Lake Wales, Florida. We'd love to see you. And if you have any questions about the layouts or any tips that you might want on these balls, you can call 1-800-280-2695 and ask for any of the coaches at the Kegel Training Center, and we'll be happy to help you.